If you were to ask the average McDonald's customer who founded the fast food empire, there's a chance they'd guess it was somebody named McDonald. It's also a very likely possibility that they'd answer Ray Kroc. While Kroc may have taken McDonald's to such a grand scale that its humble beginnings were nearly forgotten, it was brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald who truly were the fast food restaurant's founders, even though they're not the ones with their likenesses etched into plaques on the restaurant's walls. While the lives of the McDonald brothers were filled with success that would eventually afford them luxuries like custom Cadillacs, their lives were also fraught with frustration and defeat. The brothers lost out on a fortune and had their legacy all but erased for decades because of going into business with Ray Kroc. I remember him saying once, "When I was a teenager, that guy really got me," recalled Richard McDonald's grandson Jason French. This is the tragic story of the McDonald brothers and their fast food phenomenon. The old adage that greatness is born out of adversity could certainly be true for Richard, Dick, and Maurice McDonald. The brothers were born into a poor family of Irish immigrants in rural New Hampshire in the early 1900s, and saw their father struggle later in life. Their father Patrick McDonald had worked as a shift manager at the 20,000-employee G.P. Crafts shoe factory in Manchester when he was laid off after 42 years. The elder McDonald had been told that he was simply too old to do the job any longer, and the brothers saw their father face down unemployment after decades of hard work. Learning their father had been cut loose without a pension undoubtedly had an impact on the brothers, and they knew staying in their New Hampshire community wouldn't lead to a more prosperous life. "We made up our minds that one way or another, we'd be financial independent," Dick McDonald once recalled. The tragic work situation that Dick and Maurice saw their father grapple with, however, was the push they needed to west with nothing more than a pair of high school diplomas and ambition to reach for something higher. According to the New England Historical Society, they vowed to be millionaires by age 50, exactly the opposite of where their dad had been at that age. The McDonald brothers didn't set out for California with visions of burgers and fries in their eyes. By all accounts, the burger business only came about after their venture in the entertainment business fizzled out. The brothers had dreams of directing and producing movies, and landed themselves gigs at Columbia Movie Studios doing grunt work on silent film sets for a paycheck of just $25 a week. It was hardly the sort of money that would make them millionaires, and without any more glamorous roles behind the camera on the horizon, they saved what little they could and opened a movie theater. The brothers bought the 750-seat Mission Theater 20 miles outside of Los Angeles, put in a snack bar, and renamed it the Beacon. The 1930 opening of the theater couldn't have been during a worse time, and the brothers were constantly behind on their bills during the Great Depression. Hard times got so desperate that they even buried some silver in their backyard in case the bank foreclosed on the Beacon. After 7 years, the McDonald brothers called it quits and sold their movie theater before deciding to try their luck in the food business. McDonald's wasn't simply McDonald's at first, it was McDonald's Barbecue. The food stand that the brothers opened in San Bernardino followed the pattern of other food joints of the era by catering to drivers in their cars. The brothers were even able to reuse uniforms from their failed movie theater for the car hop. Upon realizing that burgers were the top seller, the brothers scratched their working formula, temporarily closed their doors, and made some drastic changes when they reopened. The new McDonald's of 1948 had ditched everything that wasn't popular on the old 25-item menu, including the barbecue, and done away with the 20-female car hop. Customers were now expected to get out of their cars and walk to the counter to place their order. People weren't happy about the changes and the once bustling business came to a halt. Customers would drive up and leave as soon as they realized a car hop wouldn't be coming over to take their order. Even efforts to stage a busy enterprise by having employees park in front failed to bring in much business. Had cab drivers and construction workers not slowly started to trickle in after several months, the McDonald brothers would have been failures yet again. Time has a way of playing with the facts of history, and that couldn't be more true when it comes to the Maurice and Dick McDonald. Both the movie The Founder and general public misconception about Ray Kroc paint the idea that he was the one who had the foresight to expand McDonald's from its original San Bernardino location. According to Smithsonian Magazine, not long after revamping the operations of their hamburger stand and developing the quick-serve method that would make them famous, the brothers were pulling $100,000 a year in profits. In 1953, a second McDonald's opened in Phoenix. After that, another popped up in Downey, California. According to the New York Times, by the time Kroc came to the brothers in 1954 to transform their burger joint to the global machine it is today, the brothers already had over 20 locations. Other estimates put it at 6 locations. Unfortunately for the legacy of the McDonald brothers, the truth that they were already had a successful franchise remains mostly ignored, and is even glossed over by McDonald's today. The McDonald's Golden Arch logo is today a globally recognized symbol beckoning people to come in for hot fries or a cheap cheeseburger. The double golden arches were not the original design that Dick McDonald had for his restaurant and were only incorporated after the brothers signed over control of their business to Kroc in 1961.